Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Can everybody hear me okay? Sound coming through? We are in the beautiful Northside studio here in Spokane, Washington, and I am really excited to see everybody here in the chat. We have Letitia, French Leo, Hackers Pride, which is also known as KIF, Selma, Jesus, Rosa is here, Steve, Deary, Nitesh. Everybody's here. Everybody's here that's usually here. Who else is here? And who else is watching for maybe the first time? I'm, again, really happy to have everybody here in the chat. And I have exciting news. We are doing lesson by request today. 2 different premium subscribers asked if we could do more practice with writing technique, specifically with rephrasing and summarizing. So, shout out to Sway for subscribing to our channel. Thank you for that. You guys should do that too if you haven't already. It's awesome to do. All right, I'm just going back through the chat. Selma asked, the first is, oh, no, sorry, Hackers Pride. Josh, what's the difference between Hackers Pride and Hackers Pride? And Selma's right with the answer that she's going for. The first is singular, the second is plural. So since the word hacker could be singular or plural, like the word deer, that you can have one deer, you can have many deer, or fish, you can have one fish, you can have many fish. The apostrophe S, well, excuse me, I'm misspeaking actually. Hacker is singular, hackers with an S is plural. So the apostrophe before the S is singular hacker to show possession. So pride belongs to that one singular hacker. If it is all hackers, then it would be hackers with an S, apostrophe after the S, and then pride. And that means that the pride belongs to all hackers. It's kind of like the difference between person's pride, a person's pride, and people's pride. But since the word people is different than person, it looks different. With hackers, with the S, it looks very similar. So that is correct. So good job, Hackers Pride with that, and good job, Selma, for knowing the answer there. Okay. Zach is at a Starbucks, so he can't hear us, but it looks amazing. Awesome, Zach. Okay. Hey, Jesus, I used to watch your videos a lot, but I had to stop because I'm going to be a father, and that's the reason why I couldn't continue watching these videos, but I'm here again. Hey, Jesus, congratulations! Everybody congratulate Jesus on becoming a father. That's awesome. I'm very excited for you. A lot of responsibility, yes, but now you get to teach your child English as well, so that's very cool. Where are you from, Jesus? It looks like... Oh, okay, we're getting lots of questions. That's great. Okay, just because I'm at a Starbucks doesn't mean I'm having a coffee. Haha. Zach's probably having a sandwich or maybe a tea. Who knows? He's totally having coffee. All right. Good job. Congratulations, Jesus. Thank you, everybody, for adding those in. Barat is here. Hello, Barat. And JB. What's up, JB? Oh, Colombia. And JB's from Colombia. Jesus is from Venezuela. Awesome. Venezuela. Love Venezuela. I like UFC. I don't know if you guys like UFC or not, which is kind of ironic because I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in fighting, but UFC is different somehow for me. So Venezuela produces some of the best UFC fighters. Very, very good fighters. Yasin is here. Sway and Zarul. No, you're not late. You're just on time. Akula, hi. And Edward. Okay, and Jamil. All right, we got to get started, guys, because there's so many amazing people here. I don't want to short anybody on their English lessons today. So we're going to take attendance really quick for our premium subscribers. Here we go. All right, so a couple people need to sign in. So if these two students would sign in, please, and choose a screen name as well. And so, like I said, by request, we are doing some premium subscriber suggested lessons today. So first lesson we're going to do, I told you, is regarding writing. We're going to practice the next two classes writing techniques to strengthen our writing. Hacker's Pride wanted to study summarizing skills, and Rosa wanted to study rephrasing skills. So we're going to start with rephrasing. We're going to start with rephrasing vocabulary. So first we're going to talk about synonyms, academic and otherwise, and then we're going to go into rephrasing and talk about how we can rephrase strings of vocabulary, so whole sentences or chunks of sentences. So we can change an adverbial clause or maybe a prepositional modifier. I am feeling good, Sway, thank you. And I do have my coffee right here in my awesome Alaska mug. This was a mug that belonged to my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother. Isn't that awesome? So, yes, I do have my coffee. All right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. So, we have our vocabulary that we're going to go over and talk about synonyms. Then we're going to talk about rephrasing vocabulary. And then we're going to go over the exercise together and do a couple of these. And this will be homework for premium subscribers. So, any questions about what we're going to do today, or comments on the lesson? Keep your comments coming, by the way. I want more suggestion for lessons. I like teaching what you want to know most. I have my own lesson plans going forward that I want to do, but I would prefer that you guys choose, especially the premium subscribers, go into our English 140 class, which has tons of amazing lessons. And if you're not a premium subscriber, you can become one and then suggest lessons as well. Just go to smartenglish.com/live/live and you can choose between these courses. We have Abby that teaches our pre-intermediate course. She's an amazing teacher. We have Sean, who is so brilliant, wonderful, amazing teacher as well. We have Neil, who is funny and goofy and a very knowledgeable educator. And then we have this dorky guy, which teaches this class, which is English for academic purposes. So thank you for being here. If you want to sign up, please do. First month's free. Sign up there. I will put that in our class notes as well. You can ask Zach questions. Zach at SmartEnglish.com. You can ask me questions. Joshua.live@SmartEnglish.com. I typed that wrong. There we go. So if you have questions, if you want to know more, just send us a couple emails, okay? And Ire has an exam next Tuesday for against essay. You have an exam on an essay, or an essay exam, a writing exam. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but good luck on that. Steve, I said dorky. Yeah, dorky's a casual term in English that means like goofy or silly or nerdy, kind of. Dorky and nerdy are similar. We can go into more detail there, but that's a good introduction into our synonyms for our academic word list. So I'm going to zoom in here. We are going to talk about synonyms to these academic words, okay? We're just going to start with questions in the chat. I'm going to start with these 5 words. Attribute, gender, persistently, constitutes, and mechanism. Attribute, gender, persistently, constitutes, and mechanism. So what are synonyms? Because we're talking about rephrasing, right? Saying the same meaning in a different way. And I think it's important to note that in English, there are no true synonyms. There are no words that mean exactly the same thing as another word. But there are loose synonyms that are kind of similar, and then there are close synonyms that are very similar. Okay? So I would like you guys to give me your best synonyms for these words. Do it like this in the chat. Like let's say the academic word is invigorating. Invigorating. Maybe you know what invigorating means, maybe you don't. Invigorating. And so I'm going to choose a synonym for this word, invigorating. I'm going to choose exciting or energizing. Energizing, okay? So this is my synonym. This is the original word. And you guys have already started to do this. Eldor says gender, kind. Okay, that's a loose synonym. There's a closer synonym that's out there. Loose synonyms and close synonyms. So this is, I just made those terms up. So I don't know if you Google them, if anything will come up. But loose synonym would be a synonym that is not really similar. It's a little bit similar. Close synonym would be a synonym that is very similar. So invigorating and energizing. Originally I said invigorating and exciting. Exciting, energizing. We could decide one of those is going to be a little closer than the other in meaning. But these are different possible synonyms. So please do this over the next minute in the chat. I'm going to give you guys a little music, and I would like you to give me synonyms for these words, and then we'll talk about them, okay? Okay, all right, so we're back. And we have put a lot of these in our class notes, but I want to start to talk about them. Um, Mechanism, system, constitute, make up, compose, create, persistently is to stick to. Gender could be, we have the suggestion of class or category. Constitute, comprise. So I've tried to copy and paste a lot of these into our class notes, but I want to talk about them. So our words that we were looking for synonyms for, and here's a little trick question just to play around a little bit in the chat. What extra bonus points, bonus question, what is the antonym of the word synonym? What is the antonym of the word synonym? That is our special bonus question. All right. So our words here, I'm going to copy over from Smart. Attribute, persistently, constitutes, gender, and mechanism. Going to go over to the chat, and we're going to decide as a class which are best, okay? So, anyone have the antonym does mean opposite meaning? Yes. That is what the word antonym means. Okay. Yes, Selma gets it. Ding, ding, ding. All right. So, good job, Selma. Yay, Selma got it. The antonym of the word synonym is antonym. Good job. All right. So that was my example. So the first one, I'm going to respond to your responses first, and then we're going to go ahead and go into what I think the best synonyms are for these words. So gender, you said type. Type and kind, yes, but that is not a perfect synonym. A closer synonym for the word gender, the best synonym for the word gender is the word sex. Sex. Most of you think of sex as an dynamic action that happens, so this word is often avoided in academic writing. The word gender is most common in academic writing. Okay? But sex sometimes you will see on forms. Government forms, applications, etc. Because it saves space. Okay? Yes, Sway, there are two meanings of sex. I am teaching you the academic meaning of the word sex, okay? I cannot say it. Very funny, French Leo. Very funny. Attribute. Apply, ascribe. So attribute is a noun, right? Apply is not a noun, and ascribe is not a noun. So we can't use those. So gender. The word attribute, let's see what other suggestions we have for attribute. Traits, there we go. Traits. I like the word traits. Traits, properties, features. What else did we say? I think traits, properties, features, attribute. Characteristic. Okay, those are all possibilities for attributes. So good job there. Persistently, here's a good one. Persistently. For persistently, we can say continuously. I like that. I think that's good. Persistently, we can also say, let me see. Persistently, continually. What else did we have? Relentlessly. Okay. Relentlessly is a little bit stronger. It's a little bit stronger. Relentlessly. Here we said gender means genre. Two very different words. Gender is male or female. Genre is a kind of category for usually art, film, books, things like that. What genre of movie do you like? What genre of literature do you like? So two very different words. Continuously, relentlessly, constantly, possibly. So we're going to choose the best one later on. Gender, type of male or female. Good. So male or female. Good. That one's good as well. All right. Sorry. Okay. There we go. Surprisingly, astonishingly. Yes, I don't think that was in the word list. But that would be a good synonym, surprisingly, astonishingly. Mechanism. Okay, here's an interesting one. Oh, we didn't go over constitute. Constitute comprises. Constitute, a synonym of constitute is made up of. Made up of. So this is an important one for my main point here in this lesson, is that sometimes the best synonym is not a single word, but a phrase, a string of words or particles. So constitute, made up of, is what I would probably replace this with. Constitute, made up of. You could also say is composed of. Is composed of. You could say embodies, constitutes. Sometimes I would use one of these. I would say is composed of or is made up of. There may be better ones, better, closer synonyms out there, but I'm not sure what they are off the top of my head. Mechanism, procedure, method. Yes, method, procedure. So there's two definitions really for this. Procedure is one. So this is the intangible definition. Okay? The abstract meaning. So if we have procedure, method, I don't want to say intangible, because a method or procedure can be tangible, but we can use this more abstractly. So the process, so a more concrete meaning can be machine or apparatus or device. And device can be used sort of abstractly as well. I've used that word abstractly and concretely in my own writing. So I'm going to go back through the chat and make sure I haven't missed any questions. Criticizing, Fabio, is spelled differently. Check your spelling on that. Dreams, okay. Fabio might be a poet. We are such things dreams are made up of. Awesome. Cool line. Constitute. Water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. That's a good example, yes, of composed, Fabio. Mechanism. Framework. Yes. Framework. So, framework is closer to procedure, or method. Method and framework. I would say it's a looser synonym. It's a, what is the word I use? Close and loose, right? Close synonyms and loose synonyms. A loose synonym is framework for mechanism. There's better synonyms for framework, but possible, yeah. How about constantly? Okay, so we'll talk about constantly in just a second. Sway, it's okay. You're typing fine. You're doing well. All right. Okay, so good job, Fabio. You spelled it correctly there. Good job. Paulo, Steve. Oh, Fanny's here as well. Hi, how are you? Okay, so you asked about constantly, because that was one of our other words, constantly, right? I think you may have gotten that from Constitutes. We talked about constantly in a previous class. Constantly is a word that we use in present continuous to show that we're annoyed, but it can also mean just something that it's usually used in the negative in English, actually, constantly. My brother is constantly poking at me. My coffee maker is constantly breaking down. My internet is constantly lagging. These would be things that are complaints. We use constantly in a negative way. Persistently is a little more neutral. So constantly has slight connotation, has slightly negative connotation. Constantly does. Okay. Relentlessly has the meaning of never giving up even to a fault. Okay. Never giving up even to a fault. Continuously means regularly. My typing. Regularly. Without interruption. Okay, regularly, without interruption. Persistently is kind of like between continuously and relentlessly. Okay, persistent is like with great motivation. So somewhere in there is the best synonym. So these are great. You can choose your favorite. This is for the homework. I'm copying this in the homework document. You can choose your favorite word for each of these. This will be part of your homework. I want you to choose your favorite synonym. Try and make it the closest synonym possible. Okay. And that is going to be part of your homework, all right, for premium subscribers. This will get shared with all premium subscribers. Once again, if you're not a premium subscriber, just go to smrt.com, smartenglish.com/live/live, and you will be able to sign up, okay? All right. Now, off to rephrasing. So that was a warm-up. That was just a few academic word lists. There's lots of other academic words you could practice with or email me about. But we're going to move on to 6-1B. So if you're a premium subscriber, go to 6-1B, please. Writing skills. And this is Writing skills 10, rephrasing vocabulary. Once again, thank you, Rosa, and thank you, Hackers Pride, for suggesting awesome subjects for our lessons. Please keep the subject suggestions coming. I will continue to teach what premium subscribers want to hear most, but I want to know today. What you want to learn next week for both classes. So for Tuesday and, for the next two classes. So Thursday next week and the Thursday after, I would like to know, what do you want to learn? So keep sending me links. And this is the best way. Just go through your lessons, go through the English 140 class and search the lessons and copy the link. Just send me the link. So if you want to learn speaking presentation skills down here, just copy the link and then paste it in an email and send it to me, okay? Say, hey Josh, I want to learn this, all right? And tell me why too. Are you learning that in your other school, or do you just find it to be interesting? Why do you want to learn that? All right, so we got to get going here. Writing skills, rephrasing vocabulary. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Being able to rephrase vocabulary and short phrases is an important skill for academic writing. Using different phrases than your source helps you have more control over your writing and ensures that the vocabulary level is consistent and appropriate throughout. Look at the following sentence taken from the reading on addiction, okay? We have a little error here that I'm going to submit the lesson feedback on. Subject-verb agreement ensures. Okay. All that'll be fixed just shortly. Okay. So here we go. This is our subject. From our example from a reading passage on addiction that is in an earlier lesson. So a weekend spent drinking far too much alcohol with friends is not a good thing and definitely has obvious negative consequences. Yet that does not constitute an addiction. Okay? This sentence here, I'm going to zoom in for you. This sentence here can be rephrased. So it can be repeated and rephrased by simply replacing some key vocabulary. So here we have a weekend spent drinking far too much alcohol. Here we say a great deal of. A great deal of is a synonym for far too much. So I'm going to write these in our notes. Here are our notes for 6-1B, rephrasing vocabulary. Okay. Here we have sentence 1, sentence 2. Okay. And we're going to just zoom in here. So, far too much. A great deal of. So, different number of words here. We have far too much and then a great deal of. Has the same meaning though. We need to make it grammatically correct. So we would say a great deal of, or we would say far too much. But it has the same meaning. Here we have is not a good thing. And then here we have not the best activity. Not a good thing and not the best activity. And definitely has and certainly has. Obvious. Here we say easily apparent instead of obvious. Negative consequences is the same. Yet that does not constitute that does not represent in addiction. Constitute and represent in addiction. So, right now in the chat, I would like you guys to come up with other synonyms. So far, too much is the same as a great deal of. A good thing is the same as the best activity. Okay. Obvious or definitely is the same as certainly. And you got to remember that this is in the context of this reading, right? The context matters. Certainly and definitely, easily apparent has the same meaning as, what was the second one? Easily apparent and, obvious. Obvious. All right, easily apparent, it's obvious. And then represent or constitute. Okay, but this isn't the only way to say it. So what I'd like you guys to do now is take these second pairs. So take a great deal of and create a new definition. Take the best activity and take definitely or certainly. Take obvious or easily apparent, sorry. And constitute or represent and come up with new words for these here, okay? So come up with new synonyms. Take a minute and just try to come up with one for each of these. And then we're going to go over them and see who has the best and see if we can fit them back into the sentence. So remember, we're going to come up with synonyms for these, but we are going to fit them back into this sentence, okay? We're going to fit them back into this sentence. All right, so I'm going to leave this up. Go ahead and type your answers in the chat, and I'll be back in just a minute, okay? Let me zoom in just a little bit more here. All right. Okay, all right. So we have a lot of great answers in the chat. Thank you guys for those. That's wonderful. I typed some of these in. We're going to plug them in and see if they work, okay? So a weekend spent drinking a great deal of alcohol. So a perfect opportunity. Let's see if this works. A great deal of alcohol. A perfect opportunity of alcohol. A great deal of means a big amount, right? This means a big amount. So a perfect opportunity of alcohol doesn't quite work. So what else could we say for a great deal of? As a class in the chat, please give me some answers in the chat, please. A great deal of alcohol. That doesn't quite work, right? It doesn't quite do it. A significant amount is better. Yes, a significant amount. Let's see what was used up here in the first one. Far too much. So a significant amount is good. Far too much is even stronger. A great deal of, and a significant amount is best. So let's keep that. A significant amount. And significant was a vocabulary word from last class. So good job. Excellent. So this works fine. A significant amount. A great deal of, a significant amount of alcohol works. Okay? With friends is not the best activity. So the right subject, we have instead of the best activity, the right subject. Does that work? Does the right subject work? Huge amount of would work as well. Huge amount of alcohol. A little less academic, but yeah. The right subject. I have a problem with this word subject. We're looking for activity. What is a synonym of activity? You're doing fine, Sway. Don't worry. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. It takes time. You get better and better. It's like playing the game chess. If you play chess and it's not difficult, you're not playing someone better than you, then you're not going to get better yourself. So if this class feels hard, if it feels like there's a lot of information you don't know, that's good. That's a good thing. Now, if it feels overwhelming, you can try another one of the classes that we have. But it's okay if it feels difficult. Send me an email with your concerns, and I'm happy to chat with you about it, okay? Don't give up. You're doing well. Keep going. All right. Subject work, task is not the right task. That's better than subject. Work is a good guess too, JB. Leisure, sorry about that. Leisure is not quite. Leisure is an adjective primarily, so that doesn't quite work. Not the right subject. What else? What could we say? Action. Someone said action. Lilia. Sorry, I missed that. Entertainment. That's okay. So we're getting better. Up here we had activity. What did we have in the first sentence? A good thing. Activity. I like action. I like action. Is not the right action. I like it better than subject for sure. Action to take. And certainly has easily apparent. So certainly we used undoubtedly. Okay. The right action. I'm going to copy that here as well. Undoubtedly has easily apparent. Noticeable. I like noticeable. It's very simple to the point. Noticeable or easily demonstrated. Demonstrated. Negative consequences that represent yet does not represent. Indicate. Does not indicate. I like that. That's a really good. Depict would also work. Illustrate an addiction. Indicate I think is the strongest one there though. So good job. Behavior. Ooh, is not the right behavior. Even better. Behavior. I like that, Fabio. Thank you. Behavior. I think that is a great word. So let's use them both. Action or behavior. Those are both good answers. Okay. All right. Recreation. Ooh, fitness. Good job. Recreation. Action, behavior, recreation. A little bit of spelling there, fitness, but yeah, good. The good behavior is not the right action, behavior, recreation. Sometimes we will say recreational activity. We'll collocate those words. Recreational activity is something that you would do for fun. So good job. You guys are doing well. Excellent job. So that is one example. There's still too much of the original sentence remaining. So we're going back to our notes here. Our notes in Smart 10 or writing skills 10. That's 6-1B, rephrasing vocabulary. And the first sentence was, a weekend spent drinking far too much alcohol with friends is not a good thing and definitely has obvious negative consequences. Yet, that does not constitute an addiction. The change sentence is, a weekend spent drinking a great deal of alcohol with friends is not the best activity and certainly has easily apparent negative consequences, yet that does not represent an addiction. Our sentence is, a weekend spent drinking a significant amount of alcohol with friends is not the right behavior and undoubtedly has noticeable negative consequences, yet that does not indicate an addiction. I like your sentence that you created, class. Good job. I think that's a wonderful example there. The final notes here are that there is too much of the original sentence remaining and more rephrasing will need to be done. But this is an easy first step. So the first step to rephrasing is to look at which vocabulary words we can rephrase. And then going to a dictionary and looking for synonyms is a bad strategy. We want to know for sure that the new vocabulary we're using truly has the same meaning as the original. So you see, I'm sure many of you were using dictionaries to look up different words. That's okay, but it doesn't always work well. The best way to choose new vocabulary is to build your vocabulary. So study vocabulary words that you don't know. Go through the lessons like this reading lesson on addiction and learn these new words, practice them, use them specifically with people that know English, that know more English than you. Try to experiment and use those words and test them out. Someone will tell you if you're using them incorrectly. And you can ask that they tell you too. You can say, hey, I'm trying to practice some new vocabulary words, and I would very much like it if you would correct me if I use them incorrectly. So, all right. We have, Sway's name is Julian. Julian, what's up, Julian? It's good to have you in class. All right. Julius. My name is Julian Julius. Okay, so we have Julius and we have Julian in class. That's awesome. Okay. Sean is going to take the lecture. Okay. Drinking lots of alcohol over the weekend certainly does not constitute the right behavior. All right, so we're giving more example sentences. But remember, build your vocabulary and you will be able to better rephrase your sentences. Okay? So, the exercise for today's class. Before class is over, I want to go over your homework. The exercise for today's class has our notes in it. So I've typed our notes in the exercise. Remember, this is going to be part of your homework. These are our these are our questions that we talked about in the warm-up, our synonym practice, and then we have rephrasing notes. So here's our first sentence. First example, and then first rephrasing. Second rephrasing. is down here. Let me see here. Okay. And then these are our synonyms that we came up with right here. So, good work, everybody. The homework is going to be looking at these sentences taken from the reading and trying to rephrase as many vocabulary words and phrases as you can. The important part is still retain the original meaning of the sentence. This, I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. Still retain the original meaning of the sentence. Don't change the meaning. Please don't change the meaning. It's very important that you don't change the meaning. Okay? Yes, Sway. Sway asks if Smart English classes will be recorded live over the summer. Yep. Smart English classes are year-round. So every week of the year, you will get Smart Live classes, which is great. Okay, so you're asking about the schedule, homework, vocabulary building. So should we still work on last week's homework, vocabulary building? Yes. Hacker's Pride, yes. Still work on last week's homework, vocabulary building, but also put in this assignment as well. Use your vocabulary building skills here in rephrasing vocabulary. So these are the sentences that you will try to rephrase. And they're all based in the topic of addiction, which was a reading assignment from earlier. At the base of an addiction is a response to a pleasurable activity and the desire to experience it again, many times at any cost. So this sentence you will rephrase. Just rephrase it right here. B, compulsive gamblers may continue their activity to increase their wealth, yet in doing so they actually fall further in debt and are unable to get ahead. So these are sentences that refer to the academic topic of addiction, and your job is going to be to rephrase them. There's several long, lengthy academic sentences that you'll be working on rephrasing. We did one together in class. I'd like you guys to complete these on your own and then share them with me. So when you're done, go File, Share, and type my email, joshua.live@smartenglish.com, okay? So please share that with me when you are done. To have access to this, you have to be a premium subscriber. If you're not a premium subscriber, please become one. It's free. Your first month is free. Go to smartenglish.com/live/live. And you were asking about the next scheduled class. Sean's class is going to happen in just half an hour, I believe. Let's see. Yep. So his class is going to start. His class is 17 GMT. Our classes here are 15:30. So on Tuesdays, Abby's here, 15:30 GMT. Neil's here on Mondays, 15:30 GMT, and I'm here Thursdays at 15:30 GMT. Sean is Fridays at 17 GMT. So his will be tomorrow at 1700 GMT. So tomorrow, but in just a little bit of time. 30 minutes time plus tomorrow. 24 hours and 30 minutes from now. All right. So this is the schedule, and look for new Smart Live classes in the future. You can also take a free level test or share this with your friends. Share this with your friends and see what their English level is. Share the level test with your friends. Here's the link. You can send it out and give your friends the opportunity to take a 60-minute test for free, 60 multiple choice questions, and a written section. And after you submit the test, you will receive an email with a score. So, pretty cool stuff there. Sean is teaching today as well. I'm not sure Sean's class schedule today. You could check him out on Facebook. That's another way. to connect with your Smart Live teachers. So let me sign in here, and then let me sign in, and I will check Sean's page before we're done with class here. He should have his class posted. Oh, he hasn't posted it yet. So check it out though when you can. And go ahead and add me as a friend on Facebook as well. Here's my Facebook link in the chat. I will accept you, of course. And it looks like Sean is teaching today. Let's see, it should be on our main channel as well. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't also, to make sure you don't miss any of our awesome videos. I will post our channel subscription in the chat as well. Yep, here's a link to Sean's class, which starts in just half an hour. So that's going in the chat as well. Just come back to this channel, come back to this link in half an hour, and Sean's class will be starting. All right, so thanks everybody so much for being in class today and asking so many great, thoughtful questions. I really, really appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Again, become a premium subscriber. Sign up for one or all the classes. That will be awesome. And I will see you guys next time, okay? So remember, you're going to go through and look at lessons that you want to learn from English 140 if you're a premium subscriber. Pick a couple lessons. Pick 2 lessons that you want to learn to study. And perhaps we will go over them in the coming weeks. Thanks again. You guys are wonderful. And really quick question that I'll try to cover at the very end there. Bharat asks, what is the difference between lots of and lot of? It depends on the context. Lots of is a quantifiable phrase, or a phrase that we use as a quantifier that means a big amount, a big quantity. Lot of is something we use in sales or auctioning. A lot is something that we sell off in an auction, like eBay. Think eBay. Here's a lot of computer monitors, right? Maybe you want to buy 10 computer monitors. So this lot of 10 computer monitors is a group of items that is for sale. Okay? Fitness needs sleep. Well, go get some sleep. Good evening, good night to everybody out there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I will see you next week. Same time, same place. Thanks so much for being in class. Tell your friends. I'd love to see new people in the chat next week. And email me if you have any questions, okay? Thanks again, and we will see you guys later. Have a great day.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smart Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.